Hello, YouTube. Thank you for joining and watching. If you're a subscriber, I really appreciate the support. And if you wouldn't be bothered, please leave a like. If you enjoy this type of content and you want to see me bring more videos. Alright, so today I've got my final base build. It's my final setup. I feel like I've got it exactly the way I want it, and it functions perfectly for a solo. I'm sure that more people could probably call this home, at least a couple. So without further ado, let me show you what I've got. Alright, I added two camo nets, shelter nets rather. I wanted something to cover the top and the back. And with these two, the way I was able to set them up, it did it perfectly. Alright. I was able to fit a large tent down here. I did it this way with the door facing this way because I've got my car tent over there. And I didn't want the gate to my large tent here swinging into my car, possibly. So I simply lined this door to my tent up where it's pretty much in the middle of this tire in the frame. And by me doing that, I can crouch down and walk in. From this side, there's a bigger gap, and you can just walk right on out without the tent here, obviously. But I was just able to walk in and out without crouching. But because of the way the door would swing open, this was the only way I could secure this. The doorway. Okay. So I can access the inventory. Right here, I'd be able to pack up my bag. Lift it up from here as well. When I tabbed, I was able to grab it, place it back in my hands, walk around. I had to drop it about here, walk out, grab it again, So it was a little bit of work, but I love it. I didn't think I'd be able to get a large tent down here, but fortunately it worked perfectly. Yeah. And of course the the next city over just got bombed. It's a dynamic, toxic zone, so it happens every session. Alright. I put barbed wire here. Let me show you what it looks like from around it. You really can't see no windows. And I believe they're shut anyway, but it really conceals you if you were within it as well. Okay. This spawns building stuff. I've got my vegetable garden right here that I'm currently waiting on to finish. Alright, let's go into the watchtower to show you the rest. Okay. Alright. I've got everything metal that I wanted metal. I've got a half wall right here because I wanted to, see who was on the other side without them being able to see in. It did phenomenal, breaking up all silhouettes on the other side. And the way I set this up was camo net here, camo net on the door, see I got camo nets here too. That way it's that little gap was a good view in if I was to peek my head. But now you don't have that worry. Alright, let me close this. You see, there's two nets right here in the same place. Alright, or really it's three with this one coming down as well. So I put the generator here so I could run my construction light. I'll show what that's like at night and why I set it up here and why it's so amusing and it makes for a fun time even when I'm all by myself. Alright, I placed this up here so I would have further concealment while I'm standing up here. Obviously I've considered doing half walls down to basically there where the other one is, right there. The rest is half wall and camo net. But to be perfectly honest, there's not much of a reason for me to do that in this server. Now if I was on more of a PvP dominant server, I would. But because this one allows a sense of community and helping people, just it made for a unique scenario where I could do this without too much worry about defense. Obviously I've taken some measures, but yeah, you can fortify this as much as you want. I'm sure you could probably even put watchtowers up here and completely conceal this. Like, imagine a watchtower up here and then another watchtower like back to back where you have the underneath blocked off. I don't know. I'd like to play with it some more in the future for sure. And of course, if I come up with more experimental Tonka truck bases, I'll be sure to upload. So if you don't want to miss them, consider subscribing. When I want to look out without a camo now, it's easy to just take it off with a half wall and you've got your view. You see, it's kind of like a picture. And with the new skybox, it's perfect. Let me put this back. Going back to Mr. Incognito. Alright. So I've discovered something as well that I'm sure people could have a lot of fun with. Obviously, I put these walls up in barbed wire, so I don't have as easy of a time getting out as I did. Because you get to right here and now you're in trouble. However, I did discover that you don't have to mess with code locks if you don't want, for one. Two, to get down in the event that you needed to in a hurry, or you just wanted to catch someone off guard. The other side, it's possible to land on one of the wheels without taking a chunk of help. I haven't broke my leg at all, So, I don't believe you'd have to worry about broken leg. Maybe bruised feet, you know, bruised ankle, but no broken leg. Just a chunk of health sometimes. So if you get it wrong and you don't land on the tire on the other side. But if you do make a basement, essentially, where you make a tent or a living area underneath the truck, you can do it in such a way where you land on the gate. Now, let me show you that. So you drop, and as you see, when you do it wrong, you lose a chunk of health, and amplified by the the barbed wire. You know, I just messed up my boots and my shoes. I mean, my shoes and my pants. So obviously, let's fix those. Don't want to lose my jungle boots. These are my favorite ones. A lot of people go with the assault, and I understand that. But personally, I wanted to go with something that was duct tape. It fixes everything, truly. Well, not everything, but mostly everything in the game. As far as clothing. Alright, so now that that's repaired, let's try this again. But you see, I lost a chunk of health. I didn't break my leg, I got a bruised ankle. That's it. Now let's do it the right way. So that was just a direct fall, right? Facing, away from the... Come on, open. And whack me down to the stairs, okay? Alright, let's show you the way I normally get this. Alright. So I will back up, but as I'm falling, I'll step forward, okay? I'll do as if I'm wanting to go forward. Not too much. See if I can get this right. Oh. Alright. You see? I landed there. I'm sure there's better ways to, like this probably wouldn't have tried as much. I probably would have got this the first time. But I wanted to show you primarily where you can do it. As long as you place the gate where you can access the code from either side, considering the wheel. You should be able to get this. So then you just walk over here, do a little crouch, yeah, and then you can come into your down here. Pull that up, yeah, and now you can see out, right? You can defend, you can drop down, defend from the bottom where their legs are. They're going to be thinking you're up there. Maybe you got a friend up there and you drop down here. Yeah. It can make for some fun times. Maybe you, in a server that allows it, you act like this is all open. Like you forgot a code lock on it and someone comes by and they're like, ooh, yeah, free loot, right? You lock it up. They have to crawl in, Yeah, you can lock it up as they get in from dropping from the top. Lock them in here. You can, man, you can have all kinds of fun if you wanted to. Okay, let me reattach that. I didn't think I'd get a large tent down here. I really didn't. But it seems to fit perfectly within the space. You can still pack up the tent, move it. You have all your windows basically you can use. and see out of. Yeah. Okay. There's multiple sources of water. As I mentioned in my first video, the one down here is a large one. It's like just on the side of that tree line. There's also cows that spawn in that field too. Um, there's chickens in this area. There's cow that basically spawn in this field, like a herd, like quite a few of them. A couple pigs. We're close to Nadbor. There's a huge military zone there. You just gotta be careful because it's a dynamic zone, a toxic zone, as you hear in my videos in distance. That's normally Nabor getting hit. Industrial, you know, where you can go and get your building materials and everything. There's water in the bottom of the mine. Normally there's like standing water. You want to purify that because that's the highest chance of getting a sickness rather than running water in the game, which still carry a chance. But you would be good to always purify it if it's like a pond or not moving, just like in real life. Okay, there's plenty of rocks also. I have only encountered wolves, but I've heard bear nearby. Closest spawn I believe I have to a bear is, let's see, you see this is me on the map, Nadbor, the industrial, we got water right here. It was Tonka. There's a little one right here as I was mentioning. The blue right there is a small one with the cows. There's another mine right here that has a body of water in the bottom, which is my closest spot that I'll frequent. There's also a bear spawn there too, like just in the hills. Okay. Don't need my revolver. I'll get this guy. Alright. Down here, obviously there's trees, there's rocks for your stones, for your flagpole, a good bit of lumber. These trees are the main ones that I use for lumber. It's not the best spot for lumber because you have to go a little bit of a ways, but totally worth it because of this area. I feel like that's the best truck location so far. Hopefully they add more. I'd like to see some in Chinaris as well. This is my other military zone. It's right next to me. Not a lot of loot is here because it's small, but the other place is toxic, and you don't have time for a long run. This is a good place to frequently check because it does spawn good stuff. And of course, we're close to everything. Everything's around us. Go further south and there's the bunker and plenty of heli crashes near me. There's one right beside the base. Water, food, resources. Player traffic is not a lot, but it is frequent enough to where you can count on it happening at least every now and then. So yeah, that's the Tonka truck base. Part 3 and the final one. Hope you guys have enjoyed these videos. I'm looking to upload more content. Feel free to leave a recommendation. And you know, hope you have a great rest of your year. God bless and peace. See you on the next one.